The day I had dreaded most had finally arrived. It was supposed to be a celebration, a day of joy for my best friend, Alex. The wedding venue was breathtaking, a sea of white roses under a crystal blue sky. It looked just like a fairy tale. I was here to be the best man, to stand by him, to cheer him on. But deep down, I felt like I was attending a funeral. The funeral for my own heart. The music started, that familiar, hopeful melody that signals the beginning of a new chapter. Everyone stood up, their faces turned towards the grand entrance, beaming with anticipation. And then, the world stopped. It was her. Lena. Walking down the aisle, looking like an angel. The same woman who had been my everything. My breath hitched in my chest. It felt like a punch to the gut, stealing all the air from my lungs. My mind was a whirlwind, flashing back to our time together. I remembered the day we met. Her laugh echoing in a crowded coffee shop. I saw us on our first date, nervously sharing stories under the stars. I remembered the silly arguments, the late-night talks, the promises we made. We were young, we were in love, and we thought we had forever. But forever came with a price tag. I was a struggling artist back then, chasing a dream that barely paid the bills. We started fighting about money, about the future, about things that seemed so trivial then but so monumental now. The laughter faded, replaced by tense silence and slammed doors. I remember the night she packed her bags, her face streaked with tears. She said she loved me, but she couldn't wait for a dream that might never come true. "I need stability, Jay," she had whispered, her voice breaking. "I need a life you can't give me right now." She left when I had nothing, and it shattered me into a million pieces. I watched as Alex, my best friend, my brother, took her hand. He looked at her with so much adoration, the same way I used to. And I couldn't hate him. He didn't know. I had never told him about Lena, never burdened him with the weight of my broken heart. After she left, I buried it so deep I thought it was gone forever. Alex met her a year later, completely by chance. He fell for her, hard, and when he told me he was in love, I smiled and congratulated him, while my own ghost of a heart screamed in silence. He was everything I wasn't back then. Stable, successful, secure. He could give her the life she wanted, the life I couldn't. Now, standing here, listening to them exchange their vows, every word was a dagger. "I, Alex, take you, Lena, to be my wife," he said, his voice full of emotion. "I promise to love you, to cherish you in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer." The irony was so cruel it was almost laughable, for richer. That was the part that broke us. As he spoke, a single tear escaped and rolled down my cheek. I quickly wiped it away, but it was too late. Lena's eyes flickered towards me for just a split second. I saw a flash of something in them. Was it pity? Regret? Or maybe just a ghost of a memory? She quickly looked away, back to the man who was now her husband. The reception was a blur of noise, laughter, and clinking glasses. People were dancing, celebrating their love story, completely oblivious to the tragedy playing out in my soul. I raised my glass for the toast, forcing a smile onto my face. I said all the right things about how happy I was for them, about how perfect they were together. The words tasted like ash in my mouth. I watched them have their first dance, swaying in each other's arms, lost in their own world. And in that moment, I knew I had to leave. I slipped out of the reception hall, the joyful music fading behind me. The cool night air was a welcome relief. I stood there, under the vast, star-filled sky, completely alone with my thoughts. Maybe she was right to leave. Maybe I was just a chapter in her life, a stepping stone to the happiness she found with Alex. It's a bitter pill to swallow, knowing that the love of your life is happier with someone else, especially when that someone else is your best friend. Some people say love conquers all, But that's not always true. Sometimes, love is about timing. And my love for her, it seems, just arrived a little too early. So here's my question to you. If you were in my shoes, would you have attended this wedding? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you support your best friend, even if it meant breaking your own heart all over again? Like this video if it moved you. Share it with someone who might understand. And subscribe to Chizzy's Craft for more stories. Thanks for watching.